Greetings and salutations, guys. Now look, how long has it been since I have done a video like this? And as soon as he hears a dang, here he comes. Some things never change, but a lot of things do. Okay, so today's video, we're going to talk about affirmations, eclectic, witchcraft, and appropriation. Someone else, I think, did a video not too long ago about these positive affirmations. And I don't remember who did it, but yeah, I don't like these positive affirmations. I am not a fan. This stems from a conversation I was having with a good friend of mine the other night, and she's going through some issues, and she's in therapy, and her therapist is giving her positive affirmations to say all the time. And when I explained to her what these really do, she was like, oh my god, why didn't I fucking see this? This is stupid. So, okay, so we're all witches, right? And we all know about manifestation. Hopefully everyone is on this level, at least. At the very least. So, let's say, rule and law of the universe, that you manifest what you focus on. So if you focus on, you know, this is basically where spells and work comes from. It's your focus, it's your intent. So you're doing, you know, focusing your intent when you do a work. So let's say you're doing something for money. You're focusing your intent on bringing that money in. All that kind of stuff. Focusing your intent on bringing the love in your life. Focusing your intent on getting that job. This is how these things work. And it's through manifestation of what we put out there and what we focus on. So if you think about these positive affirmations, it's actually kind of a reverse psychology. And okay, so let's say your positive affirmation, because you have low self-esteem, or you think, you know, or you're being bullied, or you think you don't look like all the women on TV and the magazines, or whatever. So your positive affirmation is to go to the mirror every day and look at yourself and say something like, I am beautiful. I am beautiful, I am lovable, you know, this and that. So, that affirmation is trying to get you to believe something that you don't believe. And what it's doing is focusing your intent on the opposite. So by standing in the mirror and saying, I'm beautiful, I'm lovable, that means that you think you're not beautiful and not lovable. These positive affirmations got to go, guys, because it focuses the intent on the opposite of what you want. Like my friend, her positive affirmation was something like, you know, she is strong. And she is strong. She's very strong. But at this point in time, she's feeling very weak. So her positive affirmation that her therapist gave her was, you know, to tell herself every day how strong she is. That's only focusing on the point that she's weak right now. Because when you're strong, you don't got to sit there and tell yourself every day, I'm strong. Because you're strong. Why would you tell yourself you're strong if you are strong? These positive affirmations got to go, guys. You are manifesting the opposite of what you want to manifest. Okay, so let's move on to entitlement, eclectic, witchery, and appropriation. And this is where the thumbs down are going to come in. Everybody, thumbs down my video. Because I'm going to speak the truth. Everybody's going to get in their feelings. And that shoe's going to fucking fit a lot of people. So, there was a post in a group last night, of course. And, this girl was feeling, you know, and, you know, you've seen this every day in a million different groups, a million different people. girl's feeling drawn to voodoo and specifically balsamity. And she was asking about, you know, how can I connect with this spirit? How can I learn? You know, da-da-da-da-da. And every single post on the thread was like, do what you want to do. If you're feeling drawn, do it. If that's what you want to do, don't let other people tell you what you can't do. If that's what you want to do, you know, don't let people judge you. Whatever. Every single post. Post after post after post. I was the only one that came on the thread and brought up the fact that voodoo is an ATR and it is an initiatory system. Now, this is, everybody's going to get in their butthurt feelings, but this is the very definition of entitlement and appropriation. So, she literally, you know, back and forth after I said, you know, if you really, I was like, if you really are truly interested in this path, you need to find a priest of the tradition and go from there. Get a reading, see if this is your path, blah, 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 blah. Well, she didn't like this. She didn't like this at all. And she actually literally, like, stomped her feet like a 2-year-old and got mad and literally said that I was the only one telling her no. I was the only one telling her that she can't do this. I was the only one telling her that to work with these kinds of spirits, you have to be initiated. And she got really mad about it. And she literally fucking said, I have every right to practice what I want to practice. I have every right to work with who I want to work with. And I have every right to do what I want to do. This is the very definition of entitlement and appropriation. And actually her post was asking about appropriation, the original post. She was feeling drawn to voodoo, the balsamity, and she wanted to know how she could best go about this without being accused of appropriation. That was actually her original post. And I was the only one calling her out and telling her she's literally fucking, like, and every repost was an argument. It was an excuse. Oh, I don't know any priests. Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I don't have a job. Oh, I don't, you know, I'm mentally unstable was one of her fucking things. She's in therapy, and people. Let me explain a little bit about eclectic practices and appropriation. So there's a difference between traditions that are living and traditions that are dead. Traditions that are dead, which would be like these Grecian practices with the Grecian gods, the Roman practices with the Roman gods, most of the Druidic practices, most of this stuff that's coming from the European kind of area, and not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of those are dead traditions, and I call them dead traditions because there was no intact lineage and records kept from the priests that were in these traditions. So therefore, since there is no lineage of a living priesthood to trace back to original priesthood or anything like that, they were considered dead traditions because there are no living priests of the traditions. Now they, you know, you can go back and want to practice these traditions and learn what you can from them, but a lot of the stuff was lost. A lot of that stuff wasn't kept because the tradition is dead. So a lot of it's being pieced back together and trying to go back to the old ways and doing these traditions. Now, this is a big difference between living traditions. Okay, because these traditions are dead. A lot of the secrets have been lost. A lot of the ways have been lost. People are trying to piece them back together. And they're coming up with these new age, new pagan, whatever traditions, piecing them from the dead traditions. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, because it is a dead tradition. You got to try and put it together where you can. The difference comes in with a living tradition, which the ATRs are. A living tradition. They never died. The lineages have never been broken. The information was never lost. Okay? There are living lineages and priesthoods and practitioners. Clear back, you can trace them. So there comes the difference. If you want to pick and choose things from a living tradition with a live lineage, a live priesthood, big difference between eclectically picking stuff from dead traditions. When you're picking stuff from living traditions, a lot of these are initiatory systems. As I'm saying, with living priesthoods, living lineages, and living traditions that never died and never lost a lot of, the original practice. These things are initiatory. They are passed on orally and not written down. So, I'm going to say 95% of what you're going to find on Papa Google and in books, and I don't care what priest wrote the book, how long they've been in a tradition, 95% what is written and what you're going to find is bullshit. Swallow that spoon. It is bullshit. It's put out to quell the masses' hunger for this kind of knowledge. And it's bullshit to make a buck. Okay? 95% of it. So, back to the girl with the entitlement and the appropriation. If you're this kind of person, so okay, I'm getting off track. Let's stay on the eclecticism. So you cannot steal from a living tradition with living lineage and priesthood the parts that you like. Okay, you can't say, oh, I like Bow Samedi, but I also like Thor. And you're going to mash these things together. You cannot do that. This is appropriation because the traditions are alive on this side. Okay? And this is the eclectism. A lot of people are having problems with the eclectism. Now, the eclectism is fine if we're using dead traditions without living lineage. It is not fine to steal from a living tradition bits and pieces that you like and disregard the rest. For example, a lot of the ATRs, such as Ocha, Ifa, these type of lineages, once you initiate and you are given your spirits, you are given taboos, which are things that you cannot do because that spirit dislikes them or it dishonors them to do those things. So, you think you're going to go on Papa Google and you're going to read for an hour a couple web pages about Bow Samedi, and you think he's going to work with you, even though you're not initiated, even though you don't follow the taboos because you don't like that part of it. You like this part of it, but I don't like that part of it. So I'm going to pick this out and mishmash it with all this other stuff because that's what I like, and I'm me, and I'm my thing, and I'm entitled to it. And you think if you actually make contact with a spirit doing this, that it's actually the correct spirit and it's not an imposter pretending to be that spirit. So they are fed and paid attention to. Is that what you think? You really think that? Okay. I think that's my word for today. I went off somewhere, and now I don't remember where I went off to. I think that's it. I'll probably remember once I rewatch the video, and I'll probably have to make another fucking video, because I went off on another path that I wanted to talk about. And of course, I don't remember what it was. So that's it. Like, subscribe, share. Check in the description box below this video. Check out my website, Primitive Roots Conjure. Oh, the contest, guys. Oh, the contest. I am 10 likes away from 1,000. 10 people go over there and like my page, and we're going to have a contest. And I'm going to give away 2 bottles of my boomerang reversing oil as soon as I hit 1,000 likes. Everybody get over there and give me some likes. We're going to have this contest probably this week coming up. So keep an eye on the page, Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure. And we're going to have a contest this week, I'm sure, because I'm sure I'm going to get over 10 likes. So that's it. Like, subscribe, and share, guys.